Hello there, internet world. Um, I am not sure how to even start this video, but I am going to be enrolling in a ministry education program that, if all goes well, will lead to my eventually becoming a licensed minister and the church I'm a member of, and the denomination I'm a member of, which is the Nazarene denomination. I've done this once before. Back, I don't even know, my memory has gotten so bad, I don't remember what year it was. But I enrolled and I went to my local church board at their board meeting and expressed my desire to go into ministry. I felt God had called me to that. I felt led to do that, and I needed to have the board's approval because to start out, I had to get my local minister's license, which is like the first step in the process. And so I got my local, and they approved me unanimously, which was amazing. I got my local license and started taking the courses. But at the time I was married, I was younger, I wasn't as mature and focused. I thought that I was. If you would have asked me then, I would have said, yes, I'm totally focused, I can totally do this. But the coursework was very intense, and I was struggling to keep up with the bare minimums that were required. And I had taken, I think, 2 courses, and was falling behind in my studies. And I had to meet with a special board to explain why I had fallen behind. And I said, I'm trying my best to keep up. I'm studying for so many hours a day. I'm trying to stay focused on this, but I feel like I'm in over my head a bit with this program. And they said, well, how about we take you out of that program and put you into a lay minister program, which is a little bit easier. The coursework is less intense. It's easier to keep up with. And we put you in that program and see how you do. Okay, cool. So what I didn't really fully understand at that time, I'm not going to delve into this too much because I could get on a big soapbox about it, and I'm not going to. What I didn't realize at that time was that the lay ministry program was like an unofficial thing. I would never be licensed as a minister. I would never be ordained in a church. It was a basic thing where, you are given a certificate that says, hey, you passed this class, or hey, you passed these courses. But I would never be licensed or ordained in a church. And coming to that realization was very difficult for me. Realizing that I had pretty much kind of just kind of been put to the side, and not put to the side, but I realized that what I felt called to do, I was never going to be ordained or licensed to do. And that was what that's what I felt I was supposed to do. So I took courses on the lay ministry website. They're very easy to do. Some of them you read a book, and then you submit they have like a questionnaire for every book you read, and you fill out the questionnaire, and then it's graded and submitted back to you, and you find out what your grade is. Some of them, they have like a 15 and 25 page booklet online, and you read it online, and then you take a quiz about the book you just read. And you answer questions about the book you just read. And so it was very easy to do, but I kind of just got discouraged with it and didn't really. I completed the adult worker program and got my certificate for that. I completed another program and got my certificate for that. But I kind of just stopped doing it after a while. I just kind of just stopped. I thought, what's the point? This is not going to lead to anything official, and I'm just gonna get paper, certificate after certificate, but it won't gain me anything. Does that make sense? And I'm trying to watch my words very carefully here. So over the past year or so, having been inspired by some incredible ladies in the church who have since passed on, I began to get interested in that again. Because even though God didn't say to me in clear words, I want you to be a licensed minister, I want you to be an ordained minister, I want you to have the license and a piece of paper, God never said that. But I began to think, now that I'm older and a little bit wiser and more focused and know now what's at stake, could I do it this time? So one night, after church, I talked to my pastor and I said, I need you to pray for me because God's given me, I have an interest in something, but it's not necessarily a God-led interest. He said, well, what is it? What's your interest? And I said, well, I'm kind of interested in doing a ministry education program. So I'd done it before and it didn't work out. And he said, well, you text me this week and remind me, and I'll talk to the guy who does the courses. I said, okay. So my pastor talked to the guy, and apparently they have a whole new situation now. They still have the college level courses I was in before, the ones I could barely keep up with. But they also have they also have another option, which is classes that are done online. And they're a little bit easier to follow. The coursework is not as demanding or as intense as the college level one that I was in before. So my pastor talked to the guy in charge of the classes, and he said she can take this class as an introductory class. Get her feet wet, do the assignments, see if she feels comfortable with this. If she does, she can continue. So I took my first class. It was basically about a 6 or 7 hour online conference call type situation. And so I sat in front of my computer here. I had, I was taking notes. I had the printouts that the teacher had emailed all the students. There was like 4 students in that class. I had the paperwork in front of me. The teacher would email us in preparation for the class. And we had basically a whole Saturday from morning till late afternoon where he just taught us everything in 7 hours. And after that conference call thing was over, we have 4 assignments to submit over a 4-week period. And the first assignment, I thought, I don't know if I can do this. I honestly don't know if I'm smart enough to pull this off. And I struggled. And I was afraid. I was literally afraid that I would fail, embarrass myself, that this would be a waste of my pastor's time and this guy's time. And I submitted the assignments. I did the best I could on them. I read them twice and edited them a few times before I submitted them. And I said, God, I've done the best I can with this assignment. I'm submitting it to the teacher. I pray you'll help me with this. And I move on to the next one. The last 2 assignments were the most difficult, by far the most difficult. I submitted them. The last one was due, I think, on March 4th or March 9th. It's when the last assignment was to be submitted. That was the deadline. So I hadn't received any grades back on any of my assignments yet. I submitted all 4 and hadn't received any grades back on any of my assignments. And I told my pastor, I said, I called this guy. I've left him emails. I've left him voice messages. And he hasn't returned my calls. He's not returned my text messages. He's not returned my emails. He's not gotten in contact with me. I don't know if other students have gotten their grades yet or not. But I'm very anxious to find out. Because I was hoping to get the grade on my first assignment back before I submitted my second, or at least by the time I submitted my third. And here I submitted all 4 assignments, and it had been about 2 weeks I hadn't heard from the teacher yet. And I didn't have contact information for the other students, so I wasn't able to contact them and ask them if they had passed or not, if they got their grades back or not. So I think it was, let me get the date on this so I'm not messing up on this information. I'm going way off on a tangent here, but I'll get back to what my point was making this video. Let me see here. Okay, so the last assignment was submitted on March 9th, I believe. And I hadn't received any of my grades back on any of my assignments. I had not heard one word from the teacher at all. My pastor tried to get in touch with him. He hadn't heard my pastor's calls, my calls, nothing. So I finally get a text message from him on March 20th. And, let's see. March 20th, he let me know. He says, I have all of your class materials and you have passed the class. I am slow giving graded stuff back, but you will give it. The good news is you finished your first class. And that was a huge moment of like, because I kind of, you know, felt like, okay, with my meager knowledge, if I pass this class, I feel like that's God saying, go ahead and go forward. If I failed the class or did so badly on it, if I barely passed, whatever, I felt like God was saying, maybe this isn't for you, you know? So I was kind of using my success or failure in the class to kind of act as a sign that I should proceed or stop. So finding out I passed the class was just an incredible moment. And I called my pastor immediately and said, guess what? Now, I still have not received the grades for any of my assignments in that first class, so I have no idea how I did. He texted me on March 20th. It's now April 4th. And I've not received any of the grades back from that class yet. But just knowing that I passed is a lot. And I've received confirmation from God, from other people, that I should proceed with this. And so, back when I was in the ministry program the first time, I have a blog that I posted on with every assignment that I submitted, every book I read, every class I took. I had a blog post for that. So people that were praying for me and supporting me in prayer and encouraging me in this process could read how things were going for me, what areas I was struggling in, what I was wanting prayer for. And so now I found out that I passed this class, and I'm going to go forward with this. I'm going to keep on going with this. I wanted to have that outlet again. But I just don't have the patience to sit down and type all this out. This is taking me 13 minutes to tell you just this part right here, okay? I can't imagine having to type this out in a blog post. So I'm going to see if there's a way I can submit these, like, video diary entries as blog posts somewhere. So I'm making this video, and I'm going to be making more of these because I want to kind of document my journey with this process. Tomorrow, there is an event called the Ministry Assessment Weekend, and my pastor and I are going to go do it together. Basically, for people that have an interest in possibly taking ministry education, people that are currently in the process of the ministry education program, people that are about to graduate from that program. It's for all the people like that all converge together in this one place. And I'm going to kind of give you a breakdown of what's going to be happening. It starts tomorrow afternoon. Let me get it pulled up for you here. Hang on. I'm opening up all the wrong apps. Okay. Yeah, see, it's the Ministry Assessment Weekend. And it starts tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 p.m. is the registration. 5 o'clock p.m. is a group dinner. 6 p.m. is the official welcome and overview of the weekend. And at 6:15, we break down into cohorts or organizational cohort leaders. So basically, I read it as like small group time. Like we break up into small groups, assuming. At 6:30 p.m., we have number 1, which is coping with people who beef, bite, and bellyache. Dealing with difficult or different personality types and people. 7:15 is a break. 8 p.m. is the second small group, which is a faithful parsonage family dealing with church conflict. At 8:45, we have another break. And then at 9:30 p.m. we adjourn for the evening. Then Saturday morning, we register at 8 a.m. Then we have number 3, which is multiplying services, languages, and ministry opportunities. Stewardship of the building and the resources that God has given. 9:15, it says it's called cohort breakout. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure. 10 a.m., we have a pastoral theology for challenging times. 10:45, another cohort breakout. 11:30 a.m. lunch. And 12:30 p.m. we have the last one, which is Eucharist and Baptism, defined, deciphered, and deployed. Then we have a cohort breakout at 1:15 p.m. and district license interviews at 2 p.m. So that's a breakdown of the weekend. And so my pastor told me he talked to the teacher of the class I took. Apparently he teaches, I don't know if he teaches all the classes or just some. But he said make sure and yeah. I never know when the second one's going to come up. He said, make sure and bring Kimberly over and introduce her to me during the ministry assessment weekend. I want to meet her. So I'm definitely going to be meeting the teacher. I'll be riding to the event with my pastor and then riding back home with my pastor. So this is kind of where it all begins for me. I guess it began with the first class, but to me that was like taking a step of faith. Should I or should I not? Is this God's will? Is it not God's will? That kind of thing. It was like a baby step in this direction. So I feel like this is really the beginning of the process for me. And I'm excited, and I'm terrified, and I'm nervous, and I'm worried, and I'm intrigued, and all these emotions running through me. And this may sound so corny and so over the top, and that's okay. But I just feel so humbled by this. And what I mean when I say corny over the top is because I feel like this again, this sounds ridiculous. Like Mary, Jesus' mother must have felt when she realized she was going to have the Son of God. Just feeling totally unworthy, totally humbled, totally in awe of this whole thing, you know? And that's how I feel. I'm not saying I know what she felt, but I can kind of pick up on that. Just that being humbled and being in awe and being just blown away by this whole thing. So the event starts tomorrow afternoon. I'll be leaving with my pastor. We're driving to the event together and driving back home the next day together. Hang on for a second. Notifications pop up when I least want them to. Sorry. Hang on. This is not a planned part of my video. Sorry, guys. You may not be able to hear, but there's a little ding, ding every time a notification pops up on mine. Please stop. You're ruining my video. So I am very excited and just kind of one of those things where I just want to step back and see what God's gonna do for me. I don't want to let anyone down. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I had someone tell me when I posted on social media that I passed my class. I had someone comment that they truly felt this was my calling, and that was just another confirmation that I'm doing the right thing and I'm moving in the right direction. So, but the baby class, the beginners class, the assignments for difficult and challenging for me. So I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is a very long video, but I'm not sorry because I had to kind of introduce what's happening. So I will make another video when I come back from the ministry assessment weekend to let you know what I saw, what I heard, what I experienced, what it was like, who I met, who I rubbed elbows with or shoulders with, let you know all that when I get back. And yeah, so I'm not sure if the next step is getting my local license from my church board, or if I have to take another class first. I don't know. We're gonna see. But my pastor has been my cheerleader this whole time. He's been encouraging me. He's read my assignments. He's loved what I've done. And he's been the one saying, you can do this, you got this, I believe in you, you have the potential, you can make this happen, He's just been rooting me on from the sidelines, and that encouragement is invaluable. And that's why I'm making this video blog, because if people want to, if they feel led to pray for me, man, I'm so sorry, pray for me and encourage me in this process. I want them to know what's happening, what the latest things I'm dealing with, when it comes to this course, not just my life, but just this course in general. And I was taken out of the official ministerial education program before I was able to get my district license. So, I see the corner of my mouth going up, right? I feel like if I can reach that moment, if I can attain that, if I can get that district license, I feel like this is definitely what God wants me to do. But you know what? One step at a time. I'm looking forward to this ministry assessment weekend, finding me being a teacher face to face and meeting him and shaking his hand and thanking him for being such a great teacher. And this is going to require a lot of focus and endurance and really taking this seriously and making this my priority, that kind of thing. But I'm excited. I have to say, I'm kind of excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna end this video and figure out where I'm gonna upload it and who's gonna be able to see. I'm not gonna. Nobody will be watching this video for at least a month or two. I want to get a few videos in first and kind of, what am I trying to say? I want to have two or three blogs done and uploaded and viewable before I tell anybody this blog exists. So nobody will be seeing this for a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you for listening to me all this time. If you would like to pray for me and encourage me, there might be a place to comment down below this blog post, and if there is, comment below and say, hey, I'll be praying for you. I would appreciate your prayers so much, because I feel so unworthy of all this and just so humbled by it all, and just like, wow, God, why me? Why give me this honor of doing this? I know it's going to be a hard road. The life of a minister is not easy. We all need to lift up our ministers in prayer, whether it's a youth group leader, whether it's, a pastor, associate pastor, whatever it is, we need to lift up our ministers in prayer. Whether they have a license or not, we need to lift them up in prayer daily. And so I'm going to go ahead and go. This video is so long. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys when I make my next blog post. Bye.